Hello Taurus, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, it doesn't cost anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Devil card is our very first card. This is a lot of ambition. I kind of feel like right now you're someone who's just trying to mind their own business. I feel like you are very focused on what you're doing, and you're not looking to get your creative horns tangled up in anyone else's fences, right? I think that you are very focused, very ambitious, very eager. You're very hungry for what you're doing right now. And with this card, there's very often a suggestion of the sequestering ourselves, right? Sometimes it can be a lonely road, right? The goat can be a kind of a solitary animal. I feel like you're a solitary animal right now. Yeah. I feel like you're very focused on what you need to do, your priorities, getting your life the way you want it, right? Taking care of your business. So with this, I think there's kind of an implication that is something trying to draw you into an entanglement, right? So we need to put that card into some perspective. We need a few cards to go around it. But I do feel like this is very much your creative drive right now. Yeah, I forgot to start my timer. There we go. This is your creative drive right now. Like you are very focused on expressing yourself and creating something. Now, I don't know if we're talking about a particular project or just kind of a general life energy, you know. So let's see what's going on here. Ace of Cups. Well, sometimes the Ace of Cups can be a little tempting, right? And I wonder if this is even now the rewards, right? The fruits of your labor are tempting you. You know, and I wonder if you're trying to maybe not be distracted by all of the good things that are happening as a result of your focus. Because let's say you're sitting there doing very good work. Let's say you're on an assembly line. You're putting stuff together, and it's great. And then somebody comes along and congratulates you, or it's payday. You get your paycheck, or you're admiring the quality of your work and saying, "Yeah, I really did a good job." Meanwhile, all the parts are piling up behind you and you're falling behind and you come back to a big mess, you know? So in some sense, I feel the Ace of Cups is a little bit of that, where we want to enjoy the results of what we're doing, but at the same time, we feel like that's going to kind of throw us off of our momentum, okay? On the other hand, this could be something like you're very focused on your solitary existence and focusing on your work and living your life and really having a good time doing it. And you have that momentum going, but I feel like this is a solitary thing. I would imagine that you spend a lot of time focused on your priorities. And then in comes this Ace of Cups. Maybe this is a new relationship, maybe it's a new love, maybe it's just kind of a new feeling, maybe it's something's crossing your path that is going to try to distract you from this work that you're doing. Well, maybe we need the distraction, who knows, right? Well, let's put some more cards out. Let's see what this could possibly be. You've got the Four of Wands underneath you. This is, you know, we're still trying to kind of either we're just banking this water energy, or we're trying to kind of, you know, save it for later, saying almost like, hey, I get off at 5, you know, until then I've got to focus. With the Four of Wands underneath the surface, you're the kind of person that is not going to stop doing something until it's done. Finished is finished, you know. It's, what is the phrase I'm trying to remember? It's when it's finished, it's good enough, or no, it's not finished until it's good enough. Well, I can't remember how that goes. But I feel like it's not done until it's done right, you know. And so with the Four of Wands here, this is that card of completion. This is kind of finishing the cycle. This is saying, hey, I've got a responsibility right now. I'm fulfilling that responsibility. I can come out and play later. Yeah. But I think that this is kind of, this is your system right now, that you're trying to get things done. And maybe in your personal life, you have a lot on your plate, maybe professional life. I don't know. The devil energy could be ambition applied in any area of life. That kind of driving force, that motivation, you know. But I feel like you're someone that doesn't just call it a day, you know. I feel like it's done when it's done right. Yeah. Let's see what else we've got here. Next card, past position. We've got that Magician. The Magician could be, well, I kind of have the feeling that you did some traveling recently. I'm kind of getting the impression that there are still some unpacked boxes and things that you've yet to kind of go through. And now I don't know if it's because you moved or if this was stuff that you're collecting to maybe donate or sell, but I feel like there's something that you have to sort through, right? The Magician in the background, I think that this maybe is this is the commitment. This was the association that you made with whatever work you're doing now, whatever your endeavors are. It seems as if the Magician is the beginning of that. Okay, and between these two, that's a very business mind. You know, we've got the strategy, and we've got a very good head on our shoulders, right? I think that you have a high intelligence. I think that you probably speak more than one language. I feel that you have almost a responsibility, almost maybe a contract or something that you're working under, or some sort of a business plan or a plan of action for yourself. And I feel like this is the card of really of kind of being a one-person show as well, right? We see the devil and the Magician both as solitary. You know, the Magician is that one person on stage that's performing, even though yes, there are a lot of other factors, a lot of other people and energies behind the scenes. The Magician is the one that is front and center in the spotlight. So I feel this was you taking on this kind of new something, a new role, a new job, a new position. Maybe you're some kind of a I don't know if you're teaching. I see you speaking in front of people. I don't know what you're doing, but you have this responsibility, and I feel like it's very. And when I say business, I don't know if you have your own business. I don't know if you're working for a business, but it's very business-like. Yeah, it's very geared toward efficiency and productivity and that responsibility and that driving force. These two cards are the perfect cards for business, right? You've got the business mind and you've got the hunger and you want it, right? So these two are very, very good at any kind of business, right? And I see it's kind of in a sequential way. So it's kind of like you started this thing and you just have to keep driving toward the goal. The Ace of Cups maybe is that goal coming a little bit sooner than you thought. Maybe it's a distraction. Maybe it's some kind of a new, even temptation, right? Let's see what the next card is up at the top. 6. Aha. So you do want this water energy. You do want this relationship or the experience. This 6 of Cups, it's at the top of the path of the dove, right? It's kind of what, it's kind of the life that you're really kind of hoping for, you know? Maybe we're looking forward to it. We have one more card on the path of the dove to get to, but I feel like this is you really wanting that kind of a connection. You're wanting that enjoyment. This is a sense of community, family maybe, but this is the manifestation and really the experience, the lived experience. I'm feeling this today of the Ace of Cups. So if it's a relationship, this is the kind of potential for it. And this is really dreaming about that day when I have this and I'm enjoying this. Because the Six of Cups is a 3 plus a 3, right? So it's your kind of emotional abundance, your joy, your potential, your capacity to love. Finding the counterpart. Finding the other 3 of Cups in the external world, so then it fits together perfectly, right? So it's finding your soulmate, finding your friends, finding your family, finding your people, finding your place in life. And so it's a social card, right? And I wonder if the work that you're doing now maybe is set up to help you achieve this. Right? Let's see what the last card is. See, now we've got the air energy. We've got the Prince of Swords. You're not going to quite know how to handle this situation, you know. You're not really gonna know whether or not this is, if this is kind of a test to see how focused you are on the work that you're doing or the business or whatever the project. When I say work, maybe you're retired, maybe you're in school, whatever you're applying yourself to. Whatever you're burning calories doing every day, okay? But this is kind of that, it's almost a crossroads. It's almost like, wow, my path now has split into 2. So it's kind of a fork in the road, I guess, more than a crossroads. It's a fork in the road. And it's, gosh, now I don't know, do I continue on this, what is this major arcana path here, right, of this very, very focused, very productive. And, you know, I think that there's some sort of financial aspect to this. The Magician, Mercury, very much related to commerce and business and transactions. But then it's, here's that Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, well, that's what we really want in life. So, you know, how do we turn up this way and do we achieve this? Maybe it's an opportunity that's coming your way to, you know, to have that kind of relationship or that sort of community that you want, but it kind of means that you have to come out of isolation. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Hermit card in here somewhere too. So the Prince of Swords in this position, you're looking ahead and you see the road split into 2. All right. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go here. Jimbo, the Lizard King, a.k.a. Mr. Lizard, is going to be right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card might be, I encourage you to leave your prediction down in the comments below, okay? Now, let's go to the Path of the Serpent. As we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. So let's see what our general energy is. Queen of Pentacles. Retrospection, looking back over the past. We are, this is kind of the future self. And we're looking back at that long and winding road. See that long and winding road in the background of that card? We're looking at the long winding road that we traversed to get right here, right now. So really what this card is looking at, what the Queen of Pentacles is looking at, is this. I mean, really this. Your future self is going to look back on this moment and you want to be happy and thankful that you made the right choice. Okay? And no one's telling you what the right choice is. And it's not really even to say that you have to choose between one thing and another thing. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think it is, and I know it seems like it's a fork in the road, that the path is splitting into 2, right? But I don't think it necessarily means that if you accept one thing, you're abandoning the other. I don't think it means that. What I think is going on really is that there's an idea of balance here, especially when we talk about the Prince of Swords being that double air energy. It kind of suggests that there's a need for balance, you know. So, and it might really be that we have this false dichotomy set up, that we either continue with our ambitious, kind of self-possessed and very empowered life that we are leading here, or we accept this Ace of Cups. We follow this kind of temptation in a way, and temptation is not bad, right? This is something that we want, right? But do we follow this path and completely abandon this one? Or do we follow this path and completely save that for another day, for later, for never maybe, right? Or is there a way that we can integrate all of this? And the Four of Wands might be the key of that, because the Four of Wands is very often about integrating something into the whole system. So the Four of Wands here is kind of, it's the machine. It's going to keep turning. Our life is going to keep going. And we're going to see how much we can add to it and still keep it going. It's kind of like, I used this analogy the other day, when you're making whipped cream or something, right? Or you're making mayonnaise even, let's say. And I don't know if you make mayonnaise, but you're putting oil into this mixture. And you keep adding oil. You keep adding oil until it's just right. You add too much, you're going to break it. You don't add enough, and it's going to be a loose, watery mayonnaise, and you don't like that, right? Vegan mayonnaise even, if you will. But the idea is that you keep adding and you keep stirring until it is just right. And you want to keep adding in as much as you can without breaking down the whole system. So I kind of feel like we want to have our enjoyment. We want to have this manifestation of our desires, of our love, of our connection and community, and maybe a social life versus a private life, something like this, something that needs to have balance, needs to be blended together. No one could be always public. No one could be always private, right? It's a matter of balancing that out. So I feel like we're adding the olive oil into our mixture, and we want as much as we can, but still keep the system working the way we need it to. And the Queen of Pentacles is your future self looking back at this moment and being very pleased that you did things the right way, right? A lot of retrospection. And so I feel like you're somebody even now that is very much appreciating the past. The Queen of Pentacles can look at the past and can distill all of our past experience into little nuggets of wisdom, right? So I wonder even if you're looking back at this Magician card. And maybe the Magician card was that time where life seemed like it was exactly transactional all the time. That I'm not going to do this unless I get this from it, right? So it's kind of one of these relationships here, I think, between these two, that's like, well, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? And in that way, why do we need the Ace or the Six of Cups? That don't make dollars, right? It doesn't make sense. So the Magician can sometimes be very focused, very honed in on a particular kind of life, where everything I do has to have a very specific purpose and has to be an exchange of something, right? It has to be, it has to be productive in some way, okay? And, even we look at the Six of Cups and we kind of think that, because this is a reciprocating relationship. This is you being immersed in your relationship, whether it's with a friend's family, with a romantic partner, whatever. And it's kind of like you're putting love into the relationship and you're getting love out of it. It's reciprocating, right? You're not just giving, and then the other person's just taking, and it's not coming back to you. So it's still an kind of an interchange, It's still a little bit, transactional in a way. Okay, and maybe that's kind of part of what your decision process is. That if this Ace of Cups, if you're going to follow this part of the path, if you're going to incorporate this into your overall life, it better be something reciprocating, right? The Magician's back there saying, okay, we can add this to our life, but only if we're actually going to get something from it. Love, satisfaction, pleasure, whatever it might be, but as long as it's not just wasted energy. Yeah. So Queen of of Pentacles is already looking at what decision, you've made, and appreciating it, and really taking a lot of experience from your past in order to understand what to do now and how to handle this message. Okay, the Star card in the environment. See, I think this is the event where you realize that it's not like the more you give, the more you're going to receive. Right? This is kind of the more you receive, the more you give. And I think it's like to me, this is a spiritual revelation to you. This is like an aha moment that happens for you, where you realize that this is, that not only is this something that you've wanted, and this is something that is going to fulfill you in other ways, that's going to add value to your life, but this is something that I think is a major part of your life. The way that you are receiving, let's say you're receiving this divine light, the more you're inspired by Spirit, the more you're going to go out and inspire others. The more you take in, the more you're going to have this major arcana energy, the more motivation you're going to have. So I kind of feel as if this Ace of Cups is fueling your creative process, your business process, your whatever this is, right? And so it's kind of like with the Star card, again, we see energy coming in, energy going out. It's divine light coming in, divine light being poured out. And I think it's really, it's the way that you are a conduit for the creative energy. And it's almost that all the water energy we see on the path of the dove is actually the fuel for your creative process. It is motivating you. And it's not taking away from your magician or devil energy. It's adding force to it. It's inspiring you, right? So I think there's something going on in your life, or something that will be going on, where you can see that this is the way of destiny. Okay, and if we have a crossroads, or we have a fork in the road in front of us, it might be a bit of an illusion. Let's see what else we've got. 3 of Pentacles, and this is, again, this is a potential, right? This is a cooperative effort, but it's in the position of the difficulty. And I wonder if the 3 of Pentacles in this position is us wondering in a way, or even the difficulty being that we don't know how this is going to really work. Adding something else into our life feels like we've got another plate that we're spinning, Because the 3 of Pentacles, to me, it reminds me of one of those drones, with the fans on the bottom. Those fans have to be spinning in harmony. They have to be in unison, right, for that thing to really lift off. If any fan is spinning slower or faster than the others, the thing's going to just flop over, right? So I feel like we have to be giving equal attention to the various, maybe not equal attention, but the right amount, the proper amount of attention and focus and energy into other things to make our life this complete system, for everything to be working together. It seems a little bit difficult. And I wonder if even you feel that you're so busy right now, how could you possibly incorporate any other friendships or any other relationships, or the family members, or more of a social life or anything like this? But again, I feel like the mystery here, the message really is that incorporating this relationship or this friendship or this family thing, or whatever the Ace and 6 of Cups, whatever the water energy is actually going to add to your productivity. Right? It's not a drain on your energy. It's something that really is going to bring you more energy. It's something that's going to inspire you further. And there it is. There's the Ace of Wands. That's the inspiration, right? So the water energy is helping you to create more of this fire energy. And that sums it up. That really wasn't the message I was expecting. But I feel like you accepting this, whether this is just, you pursuing some desires outside of this Because see, this is the major arcana. This is kind of what your central work is in life right now. Whether it's school or career, or you're running a business, or you're volunteering somewhere, or you're in your kind of creative endeavors, whatever it is. I don't care if you're retired or if you're a teenager, it doesn't matter. If you retired as a teenager, then I need to know your secret. This is your central work. But I feel like you having something in life that you enjoy to go along with it, whether it's just more social, more of a social life, if it's you getting into that love relationship, or starting to pursue, romantic feelings and maybe even kind of soulmate situation, pursuing those other things that maybe have seemed like distractions, temptations, burdens, drains of energy, leakages of energy. Maybe pursuing those things is going to really give you that final, that little bit extra edge that you need in your central work, whatever it is. Yeah. Not the message I was expecting, but here we are. Let's look at the mystery card. I think this is going to be the Lover's card. But it's going to be some water energy, I'm pretty sure. Or it'll be the Hermit. Yeah. Let's see. Well, it's a 6 of Swords. It's sort of water energy, right? 6 of Swords, but it does show water. And what this card sometimes has referred to as a long journey. But what it really shows is that we're in the boat on the water. And yeah, we're bringing all of our, it's kind of like, it's someone that takes a cruise, right? And they said, okay, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go on a cruise. Fine. They bring their laptop with them. They're doing work while they're on the cruise, right? But at least they're there. So we're thankful. This is, to me, it shows that we are following our heart, following the Ace of Cups. This is, I think, really the heart's desire. This is something that you really want, but there's that part of you that says, no, I got to focus on this. It's like you're studying in school. You're studying for the, I don't know, the MCATs or whatever, some serious thing. You're going to take the bar exam. And yet your friends want to go out and have a good time. Or there's a romantic partner or something, or a potential partner that's interested in you. And it's just kind of like, I really do, I want to go and pursue those things, but I know I need to sit here and study. Yeah. But maybe going after, if we can have the balance, maybe going and doing these other things, following our heart, but still bringing our reason, our logic, our intellect, still keeping your wits about you, is going to allow you to really be fueled by that experience. Even if it's just going out with friends, or if it is that romantic situation, the Ace says that it's the beginning of something else, right? I feel like something is beginning here, or there's the potential for you to get out on the water. Now, whether you choose to begin this or not, the opportunity is there, and it's something that will be reciprocating. It will be a very good day. But whether you choose to do it or not is up to you. The 6 of Swords that we have as the mystery card is kind of showing that, yeah, maybe you are, but you're being cautious. You're taking your concerns with you. You're taking your work with you, And, I think that you're being very smart and very reasonable and very cautious about it. But I think that it's bringing us that Ace of Wands, that further inspiration, right? Because maybe even you're at a little bit of an impasse anyway. Maybe you're at a little bit of like a writer's block kind of thing. And what we need is that new inspiration. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's one down below. New readings for Taurus, Mondays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Does not cost you anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.